Conclusion. I have learned so much since I've been reading about Colorado history. It was great to learn about past events. Things are definitely different now in Colorado. There is so much to compare between the days now and the days long ago.
All right, Vero, very nice. Okay, let's turn on our microphones for everybody else. And if you have a compliment, you are able to say it now. Or if you thought about
Um,
something that you learned from Vero that you didn't know before, go ahead and speak up.
um, well, I thought it was a really good presentation. It was just a great way of explaining.
Well, I agree. And Corbin just said that he liked how long it was. So, in other words, she had a lot of good details. I like how she had a lot of good details, but she used bullet points instead of oh, sorry guys, I'm showing you the wrong screen here. She used bullet points instead of, writing like a full long paragraph. So that was really good. I'm going to change the presenter and make Jaden our presenter so that he can go next. Are you ready, Jaden? And I don't want to hurry you guys along, but maybe if we can move just a tad bit faster,
Good.
that'd be okay. All right, Jaden. So you will be able to, there you go. All right, perfect. Okay, Jaden, whenever you're ready. Are you going to read it
Sorry,
for us? There you go. Perfect. Okay.
important events in Colorado history. Jane Lewis. In 1915, people were coming to Colorado to visit Rocky Mountain National Park. By 1919, 170,000 people have visited Estes Park. That was more than Yellowstone and Yosemite National Park. War. Colorado was important during the war because of farming and growing crops. Coal, copper, lead, and zinc were mined for ammunition. Disease spreads. Flu made its way to Colorado after the war. 7,783 Coloradans died in 10 months. 75 of Silverton's population died from flu. Discrimination. In 1921, people in the United States were suspicious of foreigners because of the communists in Russia. The KKK did not like people because of their skin color or because of their religion. Denver's first airport was built in 1919. It was called Denver Union Airport. Denver International Airport opened in 1996. There are almost 80 airports in Colorado today. H2O. The Colorado River flows through 7 states. In 1919, representatives met and agreed to share the water from the Colorado River. This is how the Colorado River Compact was created. The Great Depression. During the Great Depression, people lost their jobs. The Dust Bowl was hard to farmers because of their cattle died and crops did not grow because of drought.
Good.
CCC. The CCC paid men to work on government land. Colorado's national parks and highways were improved. The WPA employed 43,000 Coloradoans war again. 138,000 men and women enlisted or drifted in the military. There were shortages of sugar, gas, and tires. At the end of the 20th century, Colorado's population was almost 3.9 million people. Conversions groups and government were worried about Colorado's environment and natural resources. Pikes Peak or bust. The most interesting thing to me was the gold rush. The gold rush brought a lot of people to Colorado. I like the slogan Pikes Peak or bust. Many people sacrificed everything to move out west.
Good.
And chill.
All right. So, Jaden, can you share again that last slide? Can you just keep that up? So is that what you found the most interesting about Colorado history?
Yep.
Okay, so I really liked how Jaden put that, that last slide in, and it was very clear what he thought was the best part of learning about Colorado history. Um, I'm sure you guys have some other compliments for Jaden. Anybody else? Go ahead, Tyler.
The pictures he chose for his slides really went with his wording.
That is exactly what I wrote when I graded this because he's already uploaded it into the Dropbox. I told him that those pictures that you found, Jaden, were like perfect, and he did a pretty perfect job of using just bullet points. I would say, that last slide that we're looking at right there is the only one where I see a paragraph and not just bullet points, but it still was a near perfect presentation. So pat yourself on the back, Jaden. Yay! All right. And Corbin said that he loved your details. I'm going to turn the screen over to Will, who would like to go next. Okay, so Will, you're going to be seeing something that says share my screen. There we go. And we're going to watch Will present his presentation.
Which screen do you see?
I see the baseball picture. So go ahead. There it is. Perfect. Okay.
All right. Colorado History by Will Ritchie. Welcome, tourist. By 1914, towns along the Front Range were established. Roads have been improved so that cars could drive on them. In 1915, tourists from all over the U.S. were coming to visit the Rocky Mountain National Park and Estes Park. It took 3 hours to drive from Denver to Estes Park, 60 miles. World War I. 1914-1918. Colorado was an important state for the U.S. during the First World War. Colorado's farmers needed to produce more crops for the European demands. Mining of coal, lead, zinc, and copper were used for ammunition.
Wow.
Tungsten, found in Nederland, was used as a steel hardening agent. Influenza epidemic. As World War I came to an end, Colorado was hit hard by decreasing need, crops, and mining. The worldwide flu epidemic hit Colorado at this time, and even into the mountain towns. The town of Silverton lost 75% of the citizens.
Oh my goodness.
Racial tension, 1918-1925. Red Scare, where Coloradoans were suspicious and afraid of foreigners coming to live there because because Russia had become the Soviet Union and they were communist. It became illegal to display communist flag. The Ku Klux Klan, KKK, were a violent group of people who did not like any unlike themselves. The first airport. Denver Union Airport was Colorado's first airport and was built in 1919. In the Union Airport, the first 2 years, 3,600 passengers flew through the airport. Our airport now is Denver International Airport and is known for its art displays. DIA has black marble floors embedded with actual fossilized remains of sea creatures.
And Will, let me stop you right there for a second. I just want to point out how awesome this is. I am learning new facts from each one of you. All of you had the same topics. For instance, talking about water, talking about DIA, talking about the flu. But all of you have found different important things to mention, and it's been really great. Okay, keep going.
Water rights, 1922. Water that came from the Colorado Rocky Mountains fed tributaries that ran through 7 states. These states depended on the water for humans, plants, and animals, and life in their towns. Representatives from all 7 states agreed that the Colorado River Compact rule that the water must be shared. Depression and the Dust Bowl. The Great Depression of 1929 made it so that businesses had to shut down. Many lost their jobs and the demand for mining had decreased and left most without jobs and money for food or housing. A drought and grasshopper infestation made it so that many farmers could not grow crops and had to leave their farms. This drought caused a lot of dirt to be in the air and block out the sun. Many farm animals suffocated and died.
Hmm. Yes, so the Dust Bowl definitely affected Colorado as well as the Great Plains. I've
Yeah.
sent a couple of you a chat message, so check your chat, everybody. Okay, keep going, Will.
The President Franklin D. Roosevelt planned to get the United States back to work. He formed the CCC that paid young men to work on federal lands like parks and forests. The CCC gave more than 300 men jobs, housing and medical and dental benefits. Other agencies made similar programs that worked all over the U.S. World War II and beyond. The United States entered the Second War. Over 138 men from Colorado had enlisted in the armed services. Because many of them were away at war, their children had to help harvest crops.
So if the children had to work on the farm, what could they not do? Go to school as much. So it affected
Yeah,
people. It affected people greatly. It was a terrible time.
yeah. Colorado today in the 21st century. Colorado continues to move forward growth and industry. Whoa. Many Coloradans are concerned about protecting Colorado's natural beauty and environment.
Good.
World War I and Colorado. This is what I found to be the most interesting of Colorado History Review. I didn't know that how important mining and farming were to the battle. I liked how they used natural resources for the ammunition.
Very good, Will. Good job. I really liked this presentation, and I want to point out one slide that was different from anything else that I've seen so far. Can you go to that slide that was right before the World War II slide? Yeah, this one. Yeah, the Civilian Conservation Corps. This was a lot of detail about something that was, really cool for our state that Franklin D. Roosevelt planned that really helped our workers here in Colorado. It, it was just basically to help people after the Great Depression ruined a lot of people's farming jobs. But I'm really proud of you, Will, for including this detail that sometimes people overlooked. So, any other compliments for Will? Or anything that maybe I just pointed out one thing
Um,
that was different, but anything else that was different or that you learned? Go ahead, Vero.
Um, I I liked his presentation, and I liked that there was a picture on each one.
I like that too. Jaden?
And
Oh,
um, I just really liked his 12th slide about the World War One in Colorado. I
yeah.
just loved it.
Good. And I think most
And I
people
think
are,
I and I think I learned a lot more about the World War Two, about the Second War.
yeah, you can definitely tell when it interests some people, and they included more detail about the war. That was good. I really think a lot of you are learning by just looking at these really great pictures too that have been included in people's presentations. So I am turning the screen over to Tyler. So Tyler, you are going to go next.
okay, do you see my screen?
Not yet. Okay. So is there a button, Tyler, that says, oh, I'm not seeing you on here anymore. Tyler, are you still with us?
Yes. Where I see his screen. It's go. It's CTRX online. No, it isn't.
Huh.
Now Jaden's paused.
Okay, okay, now it looks like your screen is starting to come up.
Okay.
So make sure, yeah, pull up your presentation, your PowerPoint. Okay, now we can see your screen.
Okay. Colorado History, Chapter 8, by me. Welcome, tourists. The first Model T Ford rolled off the assembly line in 1914. In 1915, tourists from all over came to Colorado and um, nation and nation's newest national park, Rocky Mountain National Park. By 1919, almost 170,000 people have visited Estes Park.
Estes Park, yep.
World War One, 1914 to 1918. Colorado supplies material Colorado supplied material for man, ammunition and provided crops. 326 Colorado men and women lost their lives in the war. World War I ended November 11th, 1918. We celebrate that day as Veterans Day.
And I'll stop you right there. Here is another new detail that's really awesome that we've learned that World War One ended on November 11th, 1918. And so that's kind of an American history type thing, but of course it affected Colorado as well. And I like how he included the number of people who lost their lives. Okay.
The influenza epidemic, 1918 to 1919. The influenza is a flu that spreads really fast. In 10 months, the influenza claimed the lives of 7,783 Coloradoans. When influenza started around 1918, people were scared and businesses closed. I can make it. I just did. Racial tension, 1918 through 1925. In 1917, communities in Russia had overthrown the ruler and formed their own government. The, the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK, were a group of pro, 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 Protestant men and women who didn't like black people. By 1925, the KKK started to decline because more politi- politics
Politics.
and citizens didn't agree with their ideas. The first airport. Colorado's first airport, Denver Union Airport, was built in 1919. In its first 2 years, 3,600 passengers came through the airport, and some flew as far as Colorado Springs and Pueblo.
Look how different that is. Today, 3,600 passengers. DIA probably has that many passengers in its first like couple hours. Well, I don't know, but at least in its first day, I'm sure. So, and then flying Colorado to Colorado Springs and Pueblo, that's not very far at all in today's standards. So look how far we've come. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
the planes were a lot slower.
No, you're good. I just every time I see something that is interesting, I'm interrupting, but sorry.
Denver's newest airport, Denver International Airport, the DIA, opened February 1969. Water rights. Colorado history took place in 1922. It was about water rights and who can use the state's water resources. In 1919, representatives from all seven states
Representatives, yep.
representatives from all 7 states met to talk about the use for water. The new rule was the water had to be shared among the 7 states.
Yep.
Depression and the Dust Bowl, 1919 to 1932. The stock market crashed in 1929, plunged the U.S. into a period called the Great Depression. Companies like Colorado Fuel and Iron in Pueblo and the Denver and Rio Grande suffered greatly. Civilian Conservation Corps. President Franklin D. Roosevelt created the first Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, to give work to those who couldn't find work. The CCC worked on national parks and forests. The Works Progress Administration, the WPA, employed 43,000 Coloradoans.
Very good. All right, so that's how the Civilian Conservation Corps affected Colorado, that it employed 43,000 people, mostly working in our national parks. So that was good. Okay.
World War II and beyond, 1941 to 1990. In 1941, the U.S. entered World War II, and over 138,000 men and women from Colorado enlisted or were drafted into the Army services. The war caused shortages of gasoline, sugar, and tires, and the war finally ended in 1945. Today, Adams, Arapahoe, and Jefferson contain contains no con,
Continue.
continues
Oh, sorry,
contain
counties. I skipped ahead. So
counties.
today, Adams, Arapahoe, and Jefferson counties.
76% of the people living in Colorado, and people continue to move in large numbers into the state.
That's right. We definitely have a lot of people who were not born in Colorado who choose to live here because it's a great place to be.
Mhm. Colorado today and into the 21st century. Colorado's population is nearly 3.9 million at the end of the 21st century. Water resources and land management are important um, issues for Colorado and in the future. Protecting Colorado's natural environment should always be a concern.
Mhm.
Chapter 2. My favorite chapter is Chapter 2 because it is about the earliest people. I think the earliest people are the most interesting because it tells how they hunt, when they lived, how they built shelter, and what they did to make tools.
All right. Very good, Tyler. That was
Thank you.
great. Tyler, I think that you also had very important pictures. You did a great job with your bullet points. It seems like most people on that very last slide have written a paragraph, but that's okay. For the most part, you were right to the point and it was great. Anything
It's all
else that was different or new about Tyler's presentation or a compliment for Tyler? Corbin said
I just have a
background.
compliment. I think it is great. I just love his um um how do I put this? Well, I just love the presentation itself. I love the details. I love
Mhm.
everything about his presentation.
Well, thank you, Jaden. I'm sure that he appreciates that. Um, all right, and this is kind of cool. Kendall is showing her screen right now. She's going to go next, and Kendall has already pre-recorded her voice talking through every slide. So I'm not going to interrupt this time since it's already pre-recorded. So we'll go ahead and keep our compliments and our thoughts and whatnot until the very end. But we are ready whenever you are, Kendall.
Colorado History Unit by Kendall Jetson. Welcome, tourists. In 1915, tourists came to Colorado to visit the Rocky Mountains. By 1919, almost 170,000 people had visited Estes Park. World War I, 1917 to 1918. Colorado was an important part of the war effort. 43,000 Colorado men and women volunteered. Of those men, 326 lost their lives. Influenza epidemic, 1918 to 1919. As the World War ended, a worldwide flu epidemic came to Colorado. 833 people died.
Jaden,
Racial
read your
19
chat.
to 1925. A group of Protestant men and women who didn't like black or non-Protestant people formed the Ku Klux Klan, KKK. They sometimes hung people and burned crosses. First airport, 1919. Colorado's first airport was the Denver Union Airport, built in 1919. Denver International Airport opened on February 1996. Water rights, 1922. People in Colorado believe they should get the water all to themselves because the water came from the Rocky Mountains. In 1919, the new rule was made that they would share the water. In the Dust Bowl, 1929 to 1937. The stock market crashed in 1929. This was just the beginning of the Great Depression. During this time, people lost their home jobs and some became ill.
Wow.
Conservation Corps. President Franklin wrote about how the Sylvan Conservation Corps, CCC. The CCC provided more than 30,000 men with jobs, houses, and incomes. World War II and beyond, 1941 to 1990s. As the United States entered World War II, over 138,000 men and women were drafted in the armed services. The war ended in 1945. Colorado Day and into the 21st century. Population at the end of the 20th century was nearly 3.9 million. Schools, hospitals, police stations, and other services will be needed to meet the needs of the growing communities. What I thought. I think the coolest thing was the dinosaurs in chapter 1. I also thought riding a port on the end of the Indians was fun.
All right, Kendall. That was fantastic. All right, so
Thank you.
I'm getting a little bit of feedback, so I'm gonna actually turn off the microphones for a second. I would love it if you typed any compliments or anything new that you learned into the chat right now while I turn the screen back over to myself. Okay. All right, so Tyler typed into the chat that he saw some cool pics in her presentation. One thing, Kendall, that I really wanted to compliment you on is you really used your bullet points well. You had only the main topics in those bullet points. Sometimes it's because most of the time you have to write complete sentences and you have to write complete paragraphs, but it really makes presentations look kind of cluttered when they have long sentences on them. So, Kendall, you did a great job of just putting the important words on your presentation. And you did, I agree with Tyler, have really good graphics. So, all of you, I want you to give yourself a big pat on the back. Yay! Yay! Now, I want to just review for anybody who does not know where to turn it in. On week 29, so that was last week, you will see the drop box called 4th grade Colorado History PowerPoint. That's what you'll click on when you go to upload it, and it will say upload your presentation here, and you guys will have a little button that says upload. I don't have that, but okay, so we could go ahead and turn our webcams back on if you want to say hi to anybody. I just want to follow up with what I promised you at the end. We are out of time for today, but I did send you this agenda in your email. It's called 4th grade VC 411. On the bottom here are some cool resources to go and start learning about fractions. I know you guys have seen fractions before, but that's what you're going to be working on next in Little Lincoln. And we'll get to this a little bit more next week as well. Now, before I let you go, is everybody clear on what you need to bring to class on Monday for your folklore unit?
No,
Okay.
I haven't even started a folklore project. Mom doesn't even know what this is.
Okay, so I will show you. I'm getting feedback from somebody. I'm going to just guess and mute a couple people. Okay, now I can hear myself think. All right, so let me just show you where you're going to need to go because Will, you weren't at our virtual classroom on Monday, so you might be kind of
I was sick.
confused. Yeah, I know. So that's why I always post the recordings. Okay, virtual classroom recording. You're going to go to 4th grade language arts. Scroll all the way down. And here it is. Language arts virtual classroom from 4/8. That was Monday. I want you to click on it. And guess what you'll see? You will see the recording where I walk you through. Woo! All right. Where I walk you through step by step what you're supposed to do on your folklore unit assignment, okay? Here, Will, is another place that you can go. After you watch the recording, if you come over here to the left-hand side, I have linked the site that you're going to be using. So you can go directly to your site this way as well. Okay, so you're going to see assignment number 1. That's what you're doing for Monday. Group assignments. That's which one of these you've been assigned to, which one of the folklore stories. And then when you watch the virtual classroom recording, you will see me go through an example of all of assignment number one. So down here is where my example was. So it's going to make a whole lot more sense to you after you watch that recording, but I just wanted to make sure you know that it is linked on your homeroom site as well. Yes, Tyler.
Um, do you write the summary on the group summary thing? Do you wait until the VC to write it?
I would like it if you went ahead and did that now, and then we can kind of add to it and tweak it a little bit during the VC. But it would be great to have something filled out ahead of time. Okay?
Oh, ahead of time? I had the whole thing except the group summary filled out ahead of time.
Yeah, I know. I know you did. I saw that. And a couple other people added some details to your sequence chart as well. But if you want, Tyler, maybe you would like to add the topic sentence to start off your paragraph.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Will, does that help after you watch the virtual classroom?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, I will see you on Monday. Corbin, I will be sending you, I will be making sure with our secretary that we send you this Colorado history workbook so that you can do that presentation that you saw today. And don't worry about that as far as the date is concerned. But let's go ahead and give everybody a wave goodbye. Bye. Pat yourself on the back. You all did great today. Yay. All right.
Okay.
And I will see you guys Monday. Bye.